Look at all that beer. It is Friday. Hello, everybody. Yes, it's time for Beer with Claude. I've got a lot of beer here. I went into the fridge. Don't have the choices, can't go shopping as much. So when we go in the supermarket, this is what the supermarket has available in terms of beer. They love these big cans in the Safeway for some reason. My regular liquor store that we go to, has a huge selection. But we got a Bud Light with lime. I personally like this. Here's a good old Rolling Rock from Pennsylvania. This was college beer. Absolutely. My go-to hot summer, got to drink it fast beer, Miller High Life. So we have all these beers here. What else do we have here? Got a old favorite here from San Diego. Found this one. Arrogant Bastard Ale, Stone Brewing Company. So I need your help. Which one should I drink? Okay. If you got your comments there, by the way, if anyone wants to join, here is the link. It is right in here. I'm going to post it. Someone would like to join me live and have a beer with me, you're always more than welcome. I have a video I want to show you guys too. It was one of my training videos. I'm going to play that in a minute here. Look, it's Kenny Wright. Oh my gosh, my fellow beer drinker. How you doing, Kenny? You're live. Can you hear me?
I got you now.
Now you can hear me. Here, so
yes,
here's the choices. God, this is like.
Let me go get my beverage, sir.
Okay, go get your beverage of choice here. And if anyone else has a question or anything, I love talking about real estate. Can you guys hear me okay? Let's get the microphone over here. It's been a good business week. It's kind of funny and I know people are unemployed, suffering and things like that, but I've always worked from home. I've always believed, let me show you my beer selection here, as long as we're talking. I've always worked from home. I love working from home. I'm a horrible employee. Is anyone here a horrible employee? Putting on a suit and tie, getting in a car, driving in traffic, commuting, punching a time card. I don't know. It's not my personality and it's not my disposition. I've been working from home for about 30 years now. I love working from home. How about you? Oh, we're joined here from a real Texan, a real. Have you always lived in Texas?
No, I actually got lost down the bayou in South Louisiana. Nobody told me how to get out, so I was there for a while.
Louisiana, true or false? I'm going to start some trouble here. Best food,
probably.
Some of the best. No, the best food I've ever had in the United States was in Louisiana. True or false?
It's amazing just the whole trilogy of seasonings, and no matter where you go, there's something about the essence of the seasoning. And I'm not talking about hot; I'm talking about flavor, and it's just amazing. Not only the pots of love they put it together with.
Oh, what is it about Louisiana food? Nolans food, that gumbo, the etouffee, even the junk food. In help me out. What is that dried meat stick that they have? Is it boudin? Yeah, boudin. Have you ever had that? You froze. We lost Kenny. BKKIR Bicker just cracked open my Fremont Sky Kraken from here in Seattle. That sounds like a good beer. Oh, come on first. If you want to come on and show us that beer, that'd be great. Kenny, you froze. Maybe you're low. There you are.
Well, he did just put up a good beer. He teased us with one.
Oh yeah. I'm here. I don't have choice. We go shopping once a week here. And here's one of my favorite non-beer drinkers, Sammy. So we have to did you ever hear of boudin?
Hey, Sammy.
You must have heard of boudin, right?
I've heard it. I don't have a clue of what it is.
It's not a.
I will say, Claude, you do accent it, and I've never heard it accented with a boudin. But
It's boudin. How do you pronounce it?
just boudin.
Boudin. Okay, I'm a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying here? We talk.
Yeah.
We talk like this.
These and those guys, with the boo and the dan. Boo and the dan. These and those guys.
This isn't coffee. This is coffee. Okay? This is beer. Get your beer. Hey, Sammy, how do they say it in the Yankee Stadium? Get your beer here.
Get your beer here.
Absolutely. So we're going to have a Bud Light. I drink that all the time. Rolling Rock. This is the king of cheap college beers. One of the kings.
That's a good beer.
Actually, Rolling Rock is not a bad beer. My go-to summer beer, Miller High Life, which is kind of in the Coors range, I would think. And this is a fantastic beer. And I kind of like it. It kind of suits my personality. Arrogant Bastard Ale.
So I'm just curious. I didn't load up enough in my utility belt. Is this that long a call that you're going to have 6?
Oh, no. No. This is going to be a short call.
I was like, man, I'm my 3-minute timer is not going to cover that.
I think I will have, the decision has been made, ladies and gentlemen. I will have the Rolling Rock. A monumental decision has been made. Facebook user says, hey, Claude and Kenny. Sammy says, hello, everyone. Doug Faust, PBR. There's nothing wrong on a hot summer day with a PBR. Okay, it's not. It's a good college. It's a college beer. Let's see. Here we go. Let's pour a little here just to look at the head and get a little smell. This is just a light, easy drinking, very cheap beer. To your health, gentlemen. Hope you had a good week.
It's been a great week.
Nothing wrong with this beer. This is a typical light American lager. Not overpowering flavor or hops or anything in there. But it's cheap, it's good, it's clean tasting. It has about a 30-second foam here. That doesn't last very long, as in most cheap beers. That dog loves you, man.
He's adorable. Every time I get on video, he jumps over.
Well, Lassie was a TV star.
Yeah. I think he got the gene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to get discovered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to get discovered. He wants to go to Hollywood.
Hey, when's the last time they had a movie about it? Oh, there is a movie about a dog out there somewhere right now.
Yeah, well, last year there were like 2 or 3 of them all at the same time, one right after the other.
Everybody hey, who doesn't? You got to love a good dog movie once in a while.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have a video I want to show you guys, about 8 minutes long. I'm going to,
Goldfish?
What's that?
Goldfish?
What about goldfish?
You're always telling us a story about the goldfish.
Oh, no, that's...
Yeah, he only made it 8 minutes, so I figured, is it about the goldfish? It's the life of the goldfish.
It's a
documentary about the goldfish.
It's a training goldfish. For those of you listening, I hope people, when someone calls me up, Claude, how you doing? Oh, Goldie passed away.
There it is. We're on track.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Look at this beer logo I found, by the way. Here, I'm going to switch to share screen here for a second.
That was cool. You showed, yeah.
The things you can find online, it's truly amazing.
It's amazing.
I mean, there's an actual Claude beer. Have you ever heard of Claude beer? I've never heard of this beer.
I have now.
Isn't that amazing? I have a video here. I'm going to play it. It's only about 8 minutes long. It's a pretty good video. I got it out of the dungeon here. So let me play this for a minute. You guys sit back and relax.
Hi, this is George Stevenson and Claude Diamond. Hello, Claude.
Live from my garage on my treadmill here.
Well, this is the way we usually talk. The reason I'm recording this today is I had a question for you, Claude, and I wanted to get your reaction. If you're a salesperson doesn't really matter how much experience you've got. You could be a newbie, or you could have 5 or 10 years of experience. But in your experience, why do salespeople need a system to rely on to help them in their everyday sales career?
You need a system because the prospect has a system, and you've got to help. You've got to find a way to defeat their system. Their system is to get as much information from you as possible, as quickly as possible, make no commitments, and not give away too much information, but get everything from you so that they can go then beat up your competition. Okay, and the thing is, that's their system to protect themselves. And the minute they perceive you as a salesperson, all these defensive walls go up. So you better have a system of your own where you gain trust, where you gain information, where you get commitment, and you have the ability to fire the prospect and not waste a lot of time. If you're not using a system, your chances of success are minuscule. Why do they build cars on an assembly line, George?
Oh, because they know exactly what the process is to be able to build one.
They build them faster, more inexpensively, and consistently.
Right.
We need a system where we understand, and I don't believe in scripts either, as you know. I believe that we have to understand the strategy, the psychology of not only ourselves, but of the prospect. And that's what Guts does for us. It gives us a system to be in control and feel good every day about what we do on the way to the bank.
Right. So you're not teaching scripts, but you are teaching more of a conceptual framework for how to approach a prospect. Isn't that correct?
Exactly. See, to me, scripts say that everybody's the same. People have different personalities, different wants and needs. We have, so we need to adapt a strategy that works for the prospect and works for us at the same time. If we're reading, have you ever had someone read you a script, George? What does it sound like?
Sounds like a salesman.
It sounds boring. It sounds like a salesman, and we don't want to be approached. We don't want to approach people as a typical salesperson. We want to approach them as a problem solver. We want to be the doctor of problem solving, and go to people and ask questions with permission. Use a lot of what we call redirection, positive and negative, open and closed sentence questions. And we want enough information, and we want to get to the big T. You know what the big T is, George?
No, what is it?
Trust. Because if we get trust, when you have somebody you trust, a doctor, a lawyer, another professional, when you have trust, you take that person's word for things, you take their information and advice. When we're selling a product, service, real estate, and we have trust with the buyer or the seller or the other investor, isn't it a lot easier?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we need strategies, and we need a system, so we work smarter and go to the bank more often.
Right. So with the Guts system, what are the 2 or 3 key things that you talk about in your Guts sales training?
I talk about putting the salesman first, which is the direct opposite of all sales training. Most people say, sales trainers, they say that the prospect comes first. I believe the salesman comes first. If we're doing business honestly, ethically, trying to give good value, good service, I think we have the right to know, does this prospect need what we're selling? Do they have the money or the willingness to finance what we're selling? Do they have the character and the maturity to give us a tentative or full commitment?
Claude, you mean you actually ask whether they can afford your product?
Yeah, right up front.
You bring up the concept of money or the cost of it right up front.
Yeah,
because you got to know.
Yeah, because what do most sales trainers or most courses talk about the money at the end? What do you ever give a brilliant $1 million presentation to somebody, burn up gas in your car, treat people to lattes and dinner, and they say, "Gee, George, you're great, and I love your product and everything, and if I had the money, you'd be the first guy I'd go to." Is that why you're in business, to hear things like that?
No, not
Why
at all.
are you in business, Mr. Stevenson?
To put money in the bank today.
Today, baby. And what do we sell? We sell solutions. We do not ever ask for the order. We make the prospect want to buy from us because they trust us and they see the value we're giving. We never give presentations because that's an unbelievable waste of time. Instead, we ask questions just like your doctor does or your attorney does when you go for an appointment. So we do a lot of things very, very different. Like you mentioned, the money. We talk about it up front. Mr. Steve, and it would sound like this, Mr. Stevenson, you mind if I ask you something about money before we go even further?
No, that's okay.
Thank you, sir. If my product or service can solve your situation in a reasonable time frame, are you budgeted, or do you have the money set aside for us to move forward today? Or should we talk about finance?
No, well, I really need to ask my wife first.
Well, I usually, let me ask my wife if it's okay to sell you. Honey, is it okay to sell, Mr. Steve? She said yes. So, see, that's how ridiculous it sounds. And what I really say to people is, I say, sir, I appreciate that you have that kind of relationship with your wife. I talk to my wife too before I make major commitments. But don't you really just want to say no to me?
No, I really want to buy it.
Okay,
but I just don't have the $5,000 that you're asking for today.
I guess it's over then, right?
Well,
it's okay if it's over. Maybe we'll work again some other day. I'm busy, you're busy. This problem isn't so big that you want to take care of it now, do you?
Well, it sure would help me in my business.
Let me ask you something before I get off the phone, before I leave. If money wasn't an issue, you wouldn't still want to work with me or buy my product or service, would you?
Oh, yeah, I would, definitely.
Let me ask you this, and it's okay to say no. If I was willing to finance this at a reasonable, with no interest, something down, something per month, something that's comfortable for your budget and your wife, you mentioned her before.
Right.
You wouldn't want to move forward today if I was willing to do that, right?
Well, if we could get to the right, monthly figure, I think I would.
You think or you know, sir?
I know I would.
What?
I know I would. Yes.
What? I'm sorry, it's a hearing thing.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay, see, off the role play. That was a role play. That's one of the ways we teach the gut sales system, just by practicing making live phone calls, real phone calls. Nobody does that. Or role playing and taping them with people. This is just a great way to learn, and then they can listen over and over again to these tapes and recordings and practice and understand the psychology of guts. Guts is really based on a lot of the studies of transactional analysis, the different ego states and emotions of people. And we realize how we feel, and we want to realize how they feel and be empathetic. We want to stroke them, make them feel good. We want to nurture them. We want to use a lot of finesse in our words. Yeah. Guts is a brilliant way to make sales fun and go to the bank so often, George.
So before I get off the phone here, Claude, that's not a term you use very often, is it?
Why do you ask? It's a good question. It's a good question. Thank you for bringing it up. See, that was a redirection, and with a little bit of nurturing. Good question. I gave you an attaboy. It's like mom giving you a cookie when you came home from school. We use the powers of persuasion and influence. Understanding the psychology is so much more powerful than memorizing a dopey script.
Yep.
If you can gain the trust, if you can get the information, if you can get the commitment, you make a heck of a lot more money. And you have a lot more fun. You know that a lot of sales, we've all been in sales where sometimes it wasn't too much fun, George.
Yep.
With the gut system, it's always fun.
Yeah. Well,
you're in control.
That's certainly one of the things that I've found. Hey, listen, I know you've got to run, and I'll talk to you later, but I appreciate you sharing that with me, and we'll be talking to you. All right. Thanks, Claude. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right, we're back. What'd you guys think of that video?
Priceless.
It was a good one. I did it with George Stevenson. George is in Virginia, I believe, Virginia or North Carolina. I always forget. And I think we did that 4 or 5 years ago. And I just found it. I have so many little videos. And I just thought that one really hit on about 4 or 5 different really important points. I love the one thing in the end there. It said, "Sales, can you have fun in sales?" I have actually fun in sales. Now, my history was I'm the former world's worst sales guy. I hated sales. I would do anything. I was totally subservient to prospects. I'd do anything to avoid picking up that cactus phone. Absolutely. Kenny, what was your take on that video? You can't hear me, can you? No sound. Sorry. Wait a second. Maybe you're muted.
I got you.
Okay, you're unmuted.
I did.
What was your take?
I loved how you just the whole presentation of what you even teach your mentees in the group. Just getting right to it, getting it up front, being very transparent, and you never ask for the sale. You just show them a solution, and you're showing them also a solution to how they can pay for it.
Yeah. It's looking at sales in a completely different light. Instead of adversarial, instead of giving those corny scripted lines. Hi, I'm just reaching out to you today. Your lucky day. The price goes up on Friday. All those corny things. I had a guy today, one of my clients in Connecticut, and he was telling me about the rejection rate he was receiving. Okay, he was doing too much traditional scripted banter, and the rejection rate, especially now, because some people, particularly those in real estate, they're inundated with phone calls and marketing right now. And if you call up somebody and you sound exactly like the 20 bozos who called before you, don't be surprised when you get 100% rejection and hangups and leave me alone. And, oh, you're not another one of those guys, are you? I can't stand that much rejection. I'm too sensitive. I cry at dog movies. Okay. I mean, Timmy's in the well. Oh God. The thing about it is, if you have to sound different. And so if you call, that dog is so beautiful. Do you have to brush that dog?
He is.
Okay?
Oh yeah. He's shedding now, so it's terrible.
Do you have like hairballs the size of volleyballs or something?
I got hairballs all over. And wait till he coughs them up.
She's gorgeous.
Oh,
yeah, he's adorable.
Bring the dog up just a little higher on the screen. Let everybody look how much she loved you. Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
What a beautiful dog.
Yeah, he's adorable.
Wow. And what's his name?
Max.
Matt. What a great name. That's right.
Yeah.
What a great name. Now, have you had that dog since?
Mentor Max.
Had the dog for a couple of years now.
Oh. The collies are pretty smart, aren't they? They're sheepdogs, aren't they?
Very sheepdogs, working dogs. Very smart. They get a little stubborn sometimes, so you just got to hold your line, toe the line until they give in, and then they're golden. Oh my gosh!
So you're the alpha dog in the house.
Well, it's like sales. You're either going to train the dog, or the dog's going to train you.
Absolutely.
He's got a system. I've got a system.
Yeah, got a few comments here. Any of you folks listening, if you want to put a comment or a question into the chat box, go right ahead. I will acknowledge you. I will address your question. Michael Buckles. Michael, come online. We haven't heard from you in a long time. Michael's in Atlanta, one of my old students out there. Michael's just crushing it in Atlanta, Georgia there. We got BK Claude. You're an amazing man. Thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere with me. I'm the easiest guy in the world to sell. I always say this. I am so easy to sell, but nobody knows how to sell me. If you go to me with the corny, cheesy sales line, I'm right away going to do what everybody else does. Raise the drawbridge, go into default mode. A salesman, he wants his hand on my wallet. I'm going to go back. I'm going to pick his brain. I'm just going to pick that salesman's brain for free. I'm going to use wishy-washy words so I make no commitment. What are the words people use when they don't want to make commitment?
I got to think about it. I got to ask my wife. I got to ask Max, my dog.
Yeah, let me talk to the dog. Let me talk to my.
Let me check my bank balance.
Let me talk to my pet rock there or something.
Yeah. Speak to Goldie the goldfish.
I think when a prospect senses, they know usually in the first 5 to 15 seconds if you are predisposed to selling them. You're not there to help them or solve a problem. They don't see. That's why I believe in pattern interrupts. I talk so much about that. When you get on the phone with somebody, don't sound like everyone else. Say something completely off the wall. Is Sammy? Say hello.
Hello.
Hey, Sammy. Hi, Claude Diamond here. I've got your phone number in front of me. How can I help you? And I called you.
I don't know, Claude. I reached out to a number of people. I can't quite place your name.
Oh, okay.
Can you help me out? Why are you calling me?
I don't know. Help me. I don't know either. A lot of people call me for real estate, lease purchasing, gut sales training. Or why do I drink Rolling Rock beer after making a lot of money this week? And so why aren't I drinking much better beer? This wasn't about real estate, was it?
It probably was. I put my house out and trying to get rid of my house, put it up for sale, and it's been a little bit of struggle. You must have been one of the bunch of people that I called.
Why haven't you sold it yet? If so many people have called you, you must have it in escrow or contract already, right? This is.
I wish. The house is in real rough shape. The market's really down, and I don't want to give it away for a song and a dance. That's my life savings.
I don't blame you, sir. If I was in your shoes, I would. You worked. How long have you owned this home?
I've had it for 7, 8, 9 years.
Oh, yeah. Hang on to it for another 7, 8, 9 years.
That's what I'm trying to do. So
okay, well, since you're not ready to sell it, then you just are going to hang on to this property until you get that magic full price offer for a house that needs a lot of repair. Is that what I'm hearing?
If I can get a good deal, a reasonable deal, I could move forward.
What is a reasonable deal? What does that mean to you?
It's got to be an all cash deal.
Okay, let me write this. You don't mind if I take notes, right?
No.
This sounds very important. All cash. Cash is with C, right? CAS. Okay.
Cash definitely helps.
Okay. So the house is worth how much? 100,000, something like that?
It's probably worth somewhere between probably around 50,000.
Oh, 50,000. My God. You know, in California, that'll get you a cardboard box behind the Walmart.
No, out here in the sticks, it's quite different. It's probably if it were in good shape, it would probably go for 90, 100. But I got to be upfront. It's in rough shape. It needs some TLC.
Okay, so it's worth 50,000 in good condition. If you don't mind me, asking a few questions. You ask me a few. I'll make you an offer. You can say
I don't mind. It's worth 50. It's worth 100 in good condition, and I could settle for 50.
Okay, and how much in repairs would you say it needs?
It's going to need a new roof. Needs a new kitchen. Needs a new bath.
Sounds like it needs a new house.
It's going to be a gut job. I mean, there's work involved, but
okay, so
you're getting it at a discount.
Oh, okay, and it's free and clear. You don't have a mortgage on it anymore. It's free.
No, I don't have a mortgage.
So let me ask you this, sir. I look for either price or terms on a property. Suppose I was willing to give you your price, $50,000. I won't even argue with you. I'll give you your price for $50,000. And how would you? Do you know what an annuity is, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Suppose I gave you $1,000 down and $500 a month for your property at principal-only payments for 5 years with a balloon at the end.
What do you mean by a balloon at the end?
Means the balance of the money. 5 years is 60 months. That means I would pay you $500 a month. That would be $30,000 less the $1,000 I gave you. So I would give you $31,000 over 5 years of time, which means the remaining $19,000 would be paid in one single check. But every month you would get a nice little check of $500. If I made an offer like that to you today, to give you what you want, I'll even pay the closing costs. That isn't anything you'd accept, is it? It's okay to say no to me. I have many other calls to make, many other offers, but
can I be upfront with you, Claude? I'm not going to.
No, I'd rather you lie to me.
Let's see if I can lie with a straight face here. No.
Would you like some Rolling Rock as long as we're discussing?
Working on my coffee here. That's how I get my courage.
I do much better beers, much better deals under the influence here.
All right, we got to get you. We got to get you a keg then.
Kenny brought a keg of Coors somewhere back there.
Well, I wouldn't go right to keg, but you know.
Right. I was really hoping to get $1,000 a month.
Well, here's my problem on the property, and that's not an unreasonable request, by the way. If you're willing to hold a mortgage at $1,000 a month, principal-only payments. Listen carefully, but you guys who are off the role play, you guys structuring the deal interest only, principal only, or amortized only. Why do I structure my deals principal only, by the way?
So you know exactly what your cost is.
Yeah. Plus, what happens to the purchase price?
And you're getting a, and
Purchase
you're,
price
you're getting a
goes
zero
down.
interest loan.
I'm getting a zero interest loan. All the money. Let's say this property, I could rent it out. Let's say I could rent it out for $650. That 500, I'd make only $150. No big deal, but it's okay. What would that $500 a month over 5 years would pay down this property $30,000? If I, you know,
Yep.
if that means I have 30,000 equity that the tenant paid off for me. Okay, if the property appreciated, let's say 5-10% over that, that means maybe I have 40 or 45 or 50,000 equity in the 5th year on this property. Do you see how do banks make money? Do you ever think about how really successful rich people make money? They understand the math. Okay, this math, even though I'm not making a lot of money, maybe $1.50 a month, but somebody else is paying off a loan and putting money into my bank account. Every month, a stranger is putting money into my bank account, literally. You see how you can get rich if you think differently, if you look. Math is, you know, I'm a kid who grew up in New York City. I use my fingers and toes to add up. But you know, didn't you go to school in New York or New Jersey?
I went to school in New York. Yeah, I'm lucky I graduated high school.
Yeah, you know, New York City. Listen, let me tell you about New York City school system. All you want to do is survive, okay? All you want to do is not get beat up and nobody takes your lunch money. Okay. Wasn't the best place to go to school in the world.
No, I actually got mugged at lunchtime once.
Just once? You're lucky.
Just once. I was lucky.
I get mugged in the classroom in front of the teacher.
In front of the teacher.
Oh yeah.
Teacher was probably in on it.
I think she was.
Teacher was on a take.
Yeah.
I had one or two remarkable, wonderful teachers, and I had a lot of. I think some of the teachers I had were on parole or something.
They had to brush that info off somehow.
Oh yeah, they had a chain with a ball on the end of it. It was amazing. It was amazing. But here, I'm not here to disparage the New York City school system, although it needs it. The thing about, so we go back to that role play, structuring the deal. And the thing is, can you structure a deal very quickly? Can you? Is it going to be a cash deal? So let's say I got $100,000 property for $50,000 cash, but I don't have the $50,000. What's the next move? What would be the next move you would make? Assuming it doesn't need a lot of repairs or anything like that. Just
figuring what's the least amount they'll take down.
Yeah. If I went to another investor and I said, "Hey, Mr. Investor, I have $100,000 property. I just got it for $50,000, which I don't have. I'm too busy with other deals. I will."
Now you're talking just flipping it.
Flipping it. Selling I call this arbitrage. For you investors out there.
Arbitrage, exactly.
Yeah. For you investors out there who don't have any money, one of the best ways to make yourself a quick $500, $7,500, $10,000 is if you can sniff out a deal and then put that deal in a contract subject to you finding another person. Okay. And then you sell that contract let's say you sell that contract in 72 hours. Okay. Hey, Kenny Wright, Kenny the investor, role play here. Kenny, how would you like to make $50,000 today?
I think you got my attention.
I've got your attention. And now say, Kenny, I've got a property here. It's in a nice neighborhood. A guy needed to get out of it. I got a contract for $50,000. I've got the comps here. I've got pictures here. I've got a marketability study. It's a prospectus. I'll send it to you right now. I'd like to sell this contract today for $7,500. Now you negotiate with me because you have the money and I have the need. Boom.
Well, 7,500, Claude. That's a little steep. I haven't seen everything where we're at with the numbers. You told me I'm going to make an instant 50,000. You need 7,500 today.
I want to sell this property today. I'll tell you what. Give me your best price. I'll say if you can pay me today, I'll be a little flexible. You come down a little, I'll come up. No, I'll go down a little. You come up a little, and I think we can make a deal happen today. If you can pay me today for the contract, I will send you all the information, and you've got a property with 45 to 50,000 equity in it. Can we do business today? Because I want to go to my wife tonight's Friday night. I want to go, honey, while we're eating mac and cheese and drinking this wonderful Rolling Rock beer. I'm going to say, honey, I just got X amount of dollars from Kenny Wright. I want to make her happy tonight.
Well, I just got through closing on a property, so you know what? 3,500. I'd like to buy it.
5,000. I'll come up to. I'll do five. I didn't want 7,500, but I'll rock bottom this $5,000. Give me a credit card right now, and you got a deal, sir. God, all I hear is the ticking of that clock. It's like said the Raven, nevermore. Who Telltale Heart? Who did that? Oh God. Who said?
Wasn't it?
Who wrote the Raven? Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, I hear that clock ticking in the background. My God, you're torturing me.
Well, silence is a statement. Yeah. I was. Why don't we shake hands? Why don't we shake hands at $4,000, Claude?
Can you give me a card right now for $4,000?
Yes, I can.
You got.
I won't even have to ask my wife.
Okay, there you go. You got a deal. Okay, I'm not in the power position. I'm in the need position, but I'm good at finding deals. I'll sell you the contract. You make the big money. But I make money when? Today, right now. So I just made $5,000. Next time I'll be maybe I'll be a better negotiator. I won't be as hard up. I'll make $8,000. Eventually I won't have to sell this deal. I'm the guy who's going to make the $50,000 on that property because I've got enough capital and cash. I've built up my credit.
Not only that, you build credibility with me as a buyer. And next thing you know, I feel like, wow, he really came through. I'm going to want to make sure you cross the street with a little extra money in your pocket and bring me another deal.
Exactly. So that role play I did with Sammy, I can take that property and just sell it to somebody else. Or maybe since he's doing owner financing, think about it this way, no bank. Can I sell that contract to some family that wants to move into a home today, maybe fix it up? Does that contract have value to somebody who maybe doesn't qualify for the bank? You know, bank standards have gotten a little stricter over the last 30 days. Have you guys heard about that?
Oh,
you
yeah.
Get ready to go up some more.
700.
You get ready to go to 720 score.
Right. Why are the biggest?
750.
Who has the biggest buildings in every major city and town?
Guys with the money.
Guys with the money. Banks and insurance companies. Do they make cheeseburgers? Do they make Rolling Rock beer? All they do is move money, move paper. That's all they do. And they have the biggest, nicest buildings anywhere. We have to be our own bank sometimes in real estate. So if I got a family and for whatever reason they don't qualify now, they don't have $20,000 to put down, but they have $7,500 to put down, and they'll pay another $2,500 on a private note with me. Can I sell them that contract and make money today?
Yes.
And what's it all about? So you can find deals. You can either sublet them, you can sandwich lease them, lease purchase them, you can arbitrage or wholesale them to a retail family that needs a home or to another investor. Then there's other strategies, but why not make a little money today and then the next deal make more and more until you become the player?
I think about the Rocky thing when he says there is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
One thing you teach about today, there is no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Make money today.
Trivia question. That's Rocky 2, I believe. Is it Rocky 2 or Rocky 3? Rocky 3.
Rocky 3. He had to teach him after Mickey.
Right.
Yeah.
And who's he on the beach? Who's he running on the beach with?
Apollo
Creed. How much do you love? Is Rocky one of the 10 greatest movies ever made?
It's a great series.
It's a great movie.
It's life.
How about my favorite movies? Rocky, The Big Lebowski.
That's a great one.
Definitely one of the greatest movies ever made. Groundhog Day drives Claudia nuts because I've played that movie 50 times. Do you guys like? How about Goodfellas? You like
Goodfellas, and believe it or not, I love my cousin Vinny. I don't know why, but I can't watch wherever it's at. I'll just stop and finish it. You know.
Yeah, Your Honor, let's talk to the youth here. What was his name? What's the name of that actor? Oh, he's got the New Jersey thing. He's a little guy.
Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah, Joe Pesci.
Jersey boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a grip?
Hey, yeah. Hey, do I amuse you? Am I a clown? Am I here? Hey, you think this is funny? I love that. That's a scene from Goodfellas.
He's hilarious. He's so good, man. Yeah.
So many good movies. I think Netflix is having the time of their lives right now, aren't they?
They're having a field day.
Oh, one of the best series ever on Amazon. Bosch. Do you guys like police stuff? There's a really good one, Bosch. Bosch. That's on. And Ozark. Everybody watched the third? I think it's the third season of Ozark. Don't give away the ending. Did you see the end?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god! I had to take a shower after I saw it. Oh, look who! Oh, it's Jonathan's even here. Hey, John, you want a beer, man? You got to have a beer to enter the room. There, look what he. Oh, you like Peroni?
Enter the room.
Peroni. That's
What do you got
Italian
there?
beer, man. That beer.
Oh wow, we got a Watt beer. There we go.
Yeah, Peroni is. You really like that? That's a unique flavored beer. That's a good Italian beer, actually. No sound. You're not coming through here. Maybe you're muted. Oh, that might be my bad. I'm sorry. Let's see if I can unmute you here. Can't unmute your guest. Their mic isn't connected. Got to plug it in. While he's working on his mic, you play with your microphone there, and I'm going to take a few questions here. Classic video from Michael Buckles. No, it's you. No, it's not me. What is this? Seinfeld. Remember when George broke up with his girlfriend? He goes,
"It's not you, it's me."
It's not you, it's me. Break up. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jonathan. Unmute mic. Can't unmute your guest. Their mic isn't connected. That's the warning. That's what I'm getting there. Yeah, that's what you got to plug it in. There you go. Just 1 minute. There we go. Jonathan Smith, famous worldwide tennis player of Florida. Let's go to my questions here. That was phenomenal. Debbie Murray. Hello, Deborah. Nice to see you. Hey, Claude. Wow, we are blessed to have you twice in one day. I think my wife said that during our honeymoon. Let's see here. Paul Welsh, the little cactus there. Yep, like the phone. What else we have? The misdirection combined with the nurturing is powerful. Thank you. Nurturing is very powerful. A stroke is a sincere compliment. A nurture is when you make them so emotional, and that goes back to the $1 million rule. If people make decisions emotionally, if you could tell a story, if you can paint a picture in their mind, if you can ask questions that get them talking more than you, which is difficult for me because I got a big mouth.
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yes. What'd you do?
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. We can hear you, yes. We sound good. I'm sorry. I don't know. Everybody else is good. All the other kids in the room are followed the rules here.
And I'm very contrarian, so I'm surprised they don't follow the rules.
You know what you might do? Go off and then log back in again. Go off and then come back on again. Okay, and then maybe that'll work for you. Here, we'll remove you from the stream, and then you reload and come back in. Technically, all I've been doing this week, because I've done live stream, Zoom streams for my Lions Club. We had 52 people on Thursday. I was on another Zoom call from the theater. Claudia and I belong to the Rocky Mountain Repertoire Theater. We were on a Zoom call on that. It's a Zoom world right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what.
Here he comes.
Can't hear. Turn up your volume. Maybe it's just a volume thing. Okay. Turn off your Bluetooth. Bluetooth, maybe. Sorry. You'll have to sit back and enjoy your beer because I can hear the other fella. Can you hear us? Nod your head if you can hear us. Can you hear us? No? Oh, well.
Oh.
C'est la vie. C'est la vie. Okay. Misdirection. Is it really misdirection? Or is that a fair term to put in sales? Misdirection.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that word? Guys?
More like
Well,
redirection.
a pattern interrupted is a misdirection. You're trying to get them off track.
Are we trying to get them off balance or off track? Oh, I can hear a
Both,
sound.
I guess, the same. I mean, I view.
Say something, John.
Yeah, he's got sound. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh, now it's gone again. It was working for a second, and then it was dead. Work off your computer speakers. Forget about this. Get rid of this and just work off your computer speakers in your microphone. Sometimes that helps.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure
But I
did.
can't hear you.
There you go. Welcome to the party.
No, he can't hear us. He can't hear us.
You know
Sorry.
what? You brought the wrong beer. That's what's the problem.
It's the wrong beer. It's Italian engineering. There you go. Oh, no. I have a lot of Italian friends, so don't write me letters, okay? Absolutely. Misdirection, it's trying to control the process. It's asking questions. I always tell the story. We live
Can you hear
in...
me?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
What did you do?
I unmuted it down below, but I for some reason the Yeti is not allowing to be picked up, meaning talk through the Yeti and listen through the computer at the same time. I don't know why.
You have to go you have a Mac, right?
Yeah.
You have to go into your preferences and adjust. One is for the speaker, one is for the microphone.
Right.
With two separate settings. And what I found is I use the Yeti for my microphone, but
Right.
I use my MacBook Pro for my speaker.
And that's in the computer settings or in the stream?
That's in the preferences, and you go into I forget what it's called, a volume or something like that, and that's how you fix it.
Yeah, it's weird because I've done it fine with other, like I do Zoom and I use it just fine. This is the first time I've ever had this problem.
Oh, okay. We were talking about misdirection. I was going to tell a quick story. We come back here. We're 6 months in Colorado. We got 8 inches of snow yesterday, by the way. It's like a Christmas picture out here right now.
I heard.
We'll go to the Safeway, and I'll go down the aisle, and somebody will approach me. Oh, Claude, how you been? How's the family? Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time. I don't know who the hell these people are. Okay. And I was, oh, I'm fine. I'll go along with it. How's your family? How's everything? Did you have a nice holiday and everything? And, I'll do that in the supermarket, 5-minute conversations. And then I'll go to Claudia. I'll catch up. Who the hell were they? And so, oh, we had dinner with them 6 months ago. How come I didn't admit to them? How come I didn't go, who the F are you? No, I didn't say that. But
you're going to be embarrassed.
It'd be embarrassing, right? So what happens if we call? This will relate. Hang on with me for one more second. So when we call up somebody, if we act familiar, we use a pattern interrupt. I call up somebody and they say their name. Go ahead, Jonathan. Say hello. This is Jonathan.
Hi, yes, this is Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan. How you been? It's Claude Diamond. I can't remember the last time we spoke. We've never spoken. Jonathan, I got your name and number here. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you. What can I do for you today?
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, yeah, that's it. You're in.
And now I'm in. And you're going, did I call you?
Who's this Claude guy? Maybe I did,
Is this guy in my church, in my synagogue, in my mosque? Is this guy from college? Is this guy? Who is this guy? And you're not going to embarrass yourself.
Right.
Never underestimate the insecurity of your fellow man. Okay, and you'll go into this, and while they're a little confused or off balance, and they don't want to embarrass themselves like me in the Safeway with people coming up to me, now I've got my foot in the door. That also, I've got a chance now. But if I call you up, go ahead, say hello again, Jonathan.
Hi, yes, this is Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan. My name is Claude Diamond. I saw your ad in the paper. I'm just reaching out to you today. I want to be totally transparent and talk to you about lease purchasing or listing your property. Or boom, what are you going to do at dinner time?
Click.
Goodbye. I don't know about you guys. What happens when we get too much rejection? I can't stand it.
You go away. You break down a little bit. You get deflated.
Do you guys procrastinate when you when you know you have to do something? It's on your desk. You move it from one side to another. You know you're supposed to fill out this form or do something, but you don't really want to do it because it's uncomfortable. It's time consuming. It's a pain in the butt. Well, do you guys procrastinate on uncomfortable situations or things like that, or is it just me?
Not just you.
No, I mean, sometimes I'll even figure out the honeydew list that she wants me to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, Claudia's just happy if I put the toilet seat down. That's like...
That's why we have 2 separate bathrooms now.
Let's see what we got here on questions. Michael Buckles goes, hey, Mike. Hi, Sean Osby. Sean, you should come on and give us the Omaha, Nebraska report. Jane, Sean says hello to Jane.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Jane. Let's see here. Sammy, Deborah Murray. Sammy, sorry, he's very handsome. Sammy, you have Deborah Murray thinks you're very handsome.
I think she's talking about Max.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. See, I thought she was talking about you. There we go. You're single right now, aren't you?
Yep, still single.
Girls, he's available, and he has a collie. Wait a second, I gotta sell you better than that. What else? What else can we do?
Max
you two
Claude the matchmaker.
You two could live in Rochester, New York, with a collie. Let's see. Hey, there's Jane. Hi there, Jane. No honeydew in our house. Yeah, I don't do any of that honeydew shit. I just write checks. Somebody else can do that stuff. Jane says hi to Sean, hi to all the boys. Okay, good. So, John, what's going on? Give us the Florida report. What's the most dangerous thing you can say to an old person in Florida?
Want to shake my hand?
Next.
No. Oh no. How are you?
Right.
I did that once. I was visiting my father. Claudia and I were visiting. My dad had a place in Boca Raton. We went down there, and we were at Century Village. A lot of old people down there, and we went there. And I went to somebody, and I said, "How are you?" And it was like a 22-minute conversation about his prostate.
Yeah, it's kind of true. I swear. Marla's brother lives in Boca, and in the same area, and we were at his local tennis courts in the neighborhood there. And you like Rolling Rock, really?
You know what? We go into I was telling the guys earlier, we go into the Safeway. We want to get out fast. Where everybody it's so weird. Have you guys gone shopping yet and everybody's wearing a face mask? I mean, I'm in Colorado. Everybody's wearing face masks or bandanas and stuff. And I wear sunglasses too. Man, I look like Jesse James. Can you imagine if 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago, if you went into a bank with a bandana around your face and sunglasses, they would
get arrested.
You'd get arrested. Now today, it's like
now you're being responsible.
Oh yeah, it's so weird to me. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Not extensionalism. It's so surreal. You go into a supermarket today and everybody's got bandito things on. And it's like, and this is like a couple of weeks ago, I was the only one wearing one because I think I'm a germaphobe now. And people were looking at me now everybody's wearing them. It's so funny. What a society. I think, by the way, do you think things are going to get better? I'm reading in the paper. I read 4 newspapers a day: Wall Street Journal, New York Times, the L.A. paper. I read the oh God, what's the other one? I get the San Diego Union Tribune, the New York Post. There he goes. Oh my God, I've seen it. Isn't it crazy?
It is. It's crazy.
It is really, but I think what I'm reading in the paper is that the president wants the governors to make their own decisions to modify the stringent restrictions.
You know, I kind of agree with that because every state is different. Like, for example, here in Florida, but even more so in our county, and I almost think it has to be a county by county thing.
Oh, you
what?
Sammy here is wearing his.
I feel left out.
Yep. But seriously, I think it has to be on a county by county basis. Like, for example, here in Alachua County in North Central Florida, we're in much better shape than is Miami and Broward. You know, we're at literally 0.0007% of our population in Alachua County that has been affected. I think we're ready to go back May 1st and go back to normal business. That's just me personally.
I'm in a little mountain town here, a ski town. We literally we have had 2 incidences of the virus in a county the size of Rhode Island. We're huge. I think we only have 5,000-6,000 people in this whole county, maybe. We have 2 incidences. Everybody's shut down. They closed the ski area. The bars, the restaurants are all closed. Denver is still a big city and it's still having its challenges like other big cities. Shouldn't a little town like this maybe slow? Could they open up the Ace Hardware store at least?
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah, my brother's in Denver, and even actually Caroline Marlowe's daughter's in Denver, and yeah, they have you're right, they have their challenges. But if you really look at their affected versus population, the numbers are. Marlo and I did spot checks on cities.
Yeah,
county. It's literally less than 1%. Like, it's really a lot of places are less than 1%.
How about you guys? We got Rochester and Austin. What do you guys think? Do you think we could slowly get to, what is it called, 3 stages? Can we get to stage 1 where maybe a few different businesses could open up with reasonable restrictions?
I think if they don't start slowly ramping it up and opening things up, we're going to have serious problems. Instead of going into a recession, we're going to end up going into a depression. And already we're having problems with the supply chain. And once people start getting angry and start getting in the street, it could become a runaway freight train.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like Claude said about hardware stores and whatever, those kind of places can easily open up. Unfortunately, I think it's the restaurant and bars that are going to really get slammed here across the country.
I've been watching Chamber of Commerce programs where they're getting together and they're advising them how to go for these loans and things like that. My heart goes out to these are mom and pops. They got kids in college. They've got a mortgage and their restaurants are shut down. I don't think they have the discretion to go weeks and months.
They don't have the resources. Anybody that's got a small business, leasing it, renting it, how can you pay rent month after month after month and stay open? You can't.
Yeah, I don't know. How are things in Austin there, Kenny?
Houston, we're the 4th largest city in the country, and Abbott was on today, our governor, and he was talking about the phases, but Texas being the size it is, we only have 4 or 5 major cities that they're going to go through the actual textbook stages. Many of these areas are small areas, kind of like you were talking about in Florida, John, and up there in the mountains. I mean, they're so spread out they've got land, but the populace, so we're going to get those parts of the state moving. And it is good that it's dictated by the governor, and then he's handing it down to the municipalities. So, it doesn't matter, in our case, we have the hardware stores, we have the Home Depots, we have Ace Hardware open, They've got a certain amount of people can get in at one time. You're lined up outside, spaced out if you need to get in. Same thing with grocery stores. But I understand that they're going to slide in and get certain, businesses open in the next week. A lot of services that retail to go, they couldn't provide the services, but they're going to let them open up and do retail to go. He announced today, effective Monday. And then little by little, by the end of the month, they're going to do a little bit more. So, and then they're going to test it based on if there's any increase in spreading, so that we have to throttle it down.
My new beer, just to be.
It's good to see the supplies pick up in the stores again.
Clink.
I have Upslope beer. This is a good. This is a relatively new Colorado brewery. They make wonderful beers, by the way. So I've stepped up my game. So my heart goes out to these people because they've had their whole lives. I come from an immigrant family. My parents came here from Germany and Holland. They opened up a little. What's the first thing I always make a joke about it, but what's the first thing immigrants do when they come to America? They open up a grocery store or something, or 7-Eleven or something like that. My dad had a little grocery store, but he worked 8 days a week, never took a day off, smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day, died very young, never took, very rarely took days off. And I'm here and my kids are here because this man came to America and busted his ass, so I'm very sympathetic to working families who have small businesses and stuff. Paul Welsh says, I'm considering wearing ski goggles. We were talking about sunglasses before. You got to, your eyes can receive a virus as easily as any other portion of your skin or mouth or nose. We need to protect our eyes too, I think, when we go out there. It's pretty much political. One side wants everything open and the other wants everything closed. I think there's always moderation. I like people who are reasonable. Okay. I think have we lost the ability to be reasonable in our society? I mean, is it always?
It seems like it.
Is it always, do you remember the good old days when the two parties could find okay, I got my opinion, you have yours. Let's meet in the middle somewhere. There's always a middle ground.
Well, and that's how, that's how Clinton was, right? He was kind of like, he was able to play to the middle. And that's why he was so successful, right?
Yeah, Clinton was successful. He had a good economy and everything. Mm-hmm. Ronald Reagan was great. Okay, yep. We had a good economy with Reagan. We had problems and bumps in the road, but he got the two parties to get along.
Yep.
Many small businesses, from Paul Welsh here, live hand to mouth. He's right, and I'm more scared right now of the economy failing than I am of the pandemic. Do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was watching earlier Mike Ferry and
Mike Ferry.
Yeah, and they were on a Zoom call earlier, and they're calling for a V, but quarter 2 is going to be horrible, but quarter 3 they're projecting to be on the positive side.
You know what's the least of my worries? That America is so resilient and such a wonderful entrepreneurial country. I don't think capitalism is a dirty word. I think it's wonderful. I think a guy like me working from home, or a family opening up a little restaurant or a little Mexican food truck or something, can make a living and take care of it. I think this is the most resilient, wonderful country in the world. And no one's trying to leave this country. You ever notice everybody's trying to come into it? Okay, there's a reason for that.
Right.
I think we are going to come. This is the one thing I agree with Trump on. I think we are going to come back so fast and so powerful, and hopefully a lot smarter, that the rest of the world will stand in amazement at how fast we come. I know we're writing checks for trillions of dollars right now, but that doesn't bother me that much, because we're going to come back. We're going to pay so many more taxes and everything. Right now, nothing's happened. We're in a stalemate or stagnant right now. We've got to America runs on business.
I just hope we learn our lesson.
Good point.
And
yes,
and people do practice better reserves.
That's number one. At this, there's so many things lessons like one thing is learn how to save better, right? 2, I think we have to learn how to take care of our health better. so you can fight off these diseases. 3, on a separate, not individual note, but I hope we start realizing that we have to be less dependent on other countries.
We need production back in this country.
Yep.
We're worried about the face masks and the respirators and everything. It's because we don't make anything anymore. That's the issue. We got to maybe. Is it time to maybe?
We're talking the simplicity of penicillin and aspirin. We don't even make it.
That's right. China makes all
those
that
jobs
stuff.
that could be here for people. People want those jobs.
How dangerous is that? That right now, the country that started everything, the country that hit everything, and we're still dependent on them. How scary is that?
Awful. We got to get it back.
We got to get it back. And with that, gentlemen, I have to bid you adieu. I've got the pizza with anchovies is cooking upstairs, and this was great. Hey,
take care, guys. It was really good to see you.
Hey, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Everybody out there, be safe, be successful, have fun, drink good beer, hug your kids, kiss your wife, and remember, nobody deserves success more than you. Take care. Hug your colleague, right? Hug your colleague, Sammy. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us.